Don't chew on that, Max.
Cooper loves that chew too.
Oh, now he's into Cooper's food. Wow, he is loving it. What do you feed Cooper?
Blue Buffalo Life Protection Formula. He never leaves a crumb. I love it because it's made with high-quality protein, nutrient-rich fruits and veggies, and wholesome whole grains.
Looks like we're switching to Blue.
Blue Buffalo foods are made with the superior ingredients your dog needs to thrive. Can your dog food say that? Visit feedbluefood.com to learn more.
Walmart Business is in the business of helping your business. Regardless of whether you're building bridges, building spreadsheets, or building lesson plans. Ooh, that looks fun. Walmart Business can help save you time, money, and hassle so you can focus on what you're building instead of what your supply closet is missing. In short, we take care of business so you can do more with yours. We're the Walmart you love, now for your business. Learn more at business.walmart.com.
Brooks Running reminds us that we're all powered by something. Whether it's the me-time energy of a run after a day at the office, the electrifying energy of your first marathon, or the infectious energy of a group run with your friends. No matter what energy powers you, Brooks has gear specifically designed to unleash it. So lace up and let it out. Let's run there. Visit brooksrunning.com today to learn more.
Welcome to the Women's Rugby Treehouse.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Women's Rugby Treehouse. As always, I am Julia. I am here with my co-hosts Hattie and Sean. Hi, Hattie and Sean.
Hello. Don't know what that
All
is.
right, so if you haven't been under a rock, we've had a small World Cup final that we're here to discuss. We're going to cover all of that. That is going to be the big item, and then we're going to discuss what we in the business world would call next steps. I say that because I immediately ran out of something good to say. So to start off, Hattie, what do you have for us on this hangover from the Rugby World Cup final?
So we're going to start off with the first match of the day because it was a double header. Were Twickenham aware it was a double header? That's a big question.
That was going to be my first question. How did it go? We had our correspondent on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
How was Twickenham? I asked. I don't know what you're going to say.
A hellhole. An absolute hellhole.
Complete disaster.
Like, for whatever reason, the traffic was like worse than normal. We get down there, and my friend Beth, who I went with, she had booked a car parking space on somebody's drive, which, if you have driven around London, you'll know is very normal.
Okay. I was like,
Julia's like,
yeah,
that's
she didn't just
weird.
turn up.
No,
like parked on someone's drive in
No,
it's very normal.
There were two ways it could have gone. Oh no. So here in Washington, D.C., especially because it's such a small area and what exists already exists. You can't keep building. There's no sprawl. Absolutely happens here, but it's like such a gross racket that I was like, surely it couldn't happen in the UK because like that's where they have like tea and crumpets. No. They have scams there. Oh no, we have here. They're like, yeah, $150 for my driveway.
So we had paid £45 to park on somebody's driveway, and when we got to the road, the security guy was like, no, the road's shut, you can't get down there.
Do you think it was a scam? Were you scammed? Or was it just a case that they didn't realise?
Beth is arguing to try and get the money back. Anyway, security guy was like, if you go down this road and like turn here and do this and blah, 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 there's a car park there, they might have space. So we drove down the road. We couldn't find the thing he was on about, but we did see an Asda, and we were like, we'll take the £100 fine.
Fine. It's exactly what I would have done. What I like now, so I don't know
Red Roses.
Oh, it gets worse, by the way. The day got worse.
Oh, the day got worse, but I do have my one parking story, and it's not my story, so I don't know why I said it that way. No, all I was going to say is we don't even know if our friend Hugh has told this story, but we have a story from you about horrible parking in which he gets to the event, is talking to, I don't know why you guys WhatsApp your like businesses. That's awesome. We don't have that. But he's WhatsApping this business and he's like, I don't have my parking, but like I'm here with my car. And they're like, bro, I don't know. And so I assumed that this was going to be where they're just like, oh yeah, I did sell that to you, didn't I? I do have my mother-in-law over though, so you're going to have to hike it over to Asda. Anyway, I was wrong. What else do you want to tell us about how good Twickenham was for this giant event that they advertised so much about how big it was going to be?
There was just no crowd control.
Oh, no.
Between the two games, the problem was it was just full. So like you literally could not move. Like outside the stadium, but inside the like ticketed area, if that makes sense. You had all the food trucks and bars and whatever. You literally like, because there was no crowd control and there was no like barriers, the queues were just like coming out at random angles. Some places had like 4 queues going into one kiosk, and then you had all the people trying to get round.
Lovely.
So it was just, you couldn't move.
You sent me Dorothy Wall's story on Instagram. She was filming the crowd from the top, from looking down, and it did give me anxiety.
It was awful.
It was like, oh my God.
We like walked out and then walked back in, and as we were walking back in, we were like, we're just going to go like back inside. And as we were going inside, we spotted the bar that was like upstairs. So we were like, maybe they've got a food, but at least we can get a drink. And we went up there and there was literally no queue, but they only had crisps.
Oh, so. Great. So you had crisps.
Well, okay, so here's my one thing that like I do wonder, and it's gotta just be that like you're not used to your oh god, no, that could go down a really bad road. But the UK not being used to its population growing at the size that it is, and just like why are your venues always out of food?
This is Twickenham.
Why are all your venues always out of food? You always have booze. Do you know what happens when you drink a lot with no food? And then
in a double header where there's like an hour plus gap.
Yeah. I just don't understand why this is Twickenham. Like I am surprised. To be honest. Yeah, like they know how to run these events,
but they don't know how to run a double header. That's the problem, and that's been the problem at every single game I've been to. Like I've been to glory. Like the games that were like good, that were what like ran really smoothly, where crowds weren't a problem, were all the single games. It was soon as there was a double header, like there was crowd issues.
I didn't think it was too bad at Scotland, Canada, and Fiji, Wales.
Exeter
My experience was okay actually at Exeter.
That wasn't too bad. It wasn't great getting out for me because obviously I was on the other side.
That
was a bit of a crash. It wasn't like the best. I'd say Northampton probably had the best, but with Northampton you can literally go out like any which way, and like it's very spread out. And they did learn like week on week. But
yeah, that's a shame, isn't it? It is a shame.
I feel like if they'd had the semi-finals in Twickenham, I think they maybe would have learned like for the final. But I also don't think that it needed to be a double header event. I think it could have been split up.
I was a little bit surprised that it was on the same day. And when Cardiff had the World Cup in '99,
that's what I was going to say.
The bronze medal match was a separate match because I remember me and my dad going to, I think it was New Zealand and South Africa. But yeah, we went. It was on like the Friday or something.
I was gonna say the Friday night, and then the Saturday would have been great. Or just because of the way that London is specifically, with how many stadiums there are just there, like you could have just done them in 2 different places. Like it sucks, but like also, if you're doing this, you're used to walking anyway. Like just walk down the road. I don't know.
I mean, not even that. Like I feel like with the semis and with the final, they with the bronze medal match rather. They could have been like, oh, we're going to host them at the Stoop. And then when they sold out, they move it to Twickenham. Like, they're not far away from each other. Do you know what I mean?
That was what I would... No, that was the exact setup that I was thinking was if it came to it. But now that we've done crowd design control, or crowd control design...
We're actually going to talk about the matches. So when I finally got in the stadium, which was like 10 minutes into the first game, I made it pretty much just in time for a great Pauline Bourdon-Sansus try. However, after that, New Zealand turned up. They put their pedal to the metal and they really said, P-dub-dub, we know this is probably your last ever game. We're going to give you a good match.
We say that, but I do feel like it's like Tinkerbell. Like every time we say it, she's like,
I don't know.
Now I'm staying.
I think she probably will.
Yeah, we're clapping. No, I don't think her body. I mean, I shouldn't talk about some random professional athlete's body, but I mean, like there comes a time. No, there comes a time, especially in rugby, like you can't.
Particularly as it's getting more and more professional
Exactly.
and more and more
she is aging, and
hard-hitting
new 18-year-olds come in all the time. Exactly.
I think as
Yeah.
well, like with her, like she before the game, she was like very much basically saying this is my last game without saying it was her last game, and like her coming off and like the cameras lingering on her,
Oh, for sure.
like the way that the rest of the team was acting, I was like, this
The
is
only reason I joke is because that's exactly how it went the last time. But you're absolutely
Yeah.
right. It's gotta be. We're not gonna.
I
we're
mean,
not gonna be
unless there's going to be like a home game in New Zealand, and that's like her
They
last
might
game.
do that. They might do that.
See, that was my one thing.
Because otherwise she's
yeah.
going to be like Kathy Bates in Misery. She's just going to keep coming back.
Yeah. Ollie
Everybody loves a
Halfpenny.
cat. We are really nailing every demographic of our viewership. Of just
It's
shit
just
everybody
my
likes.
my personal interests. Stephen King.
And
Rugby.
Lee Halfpenny. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Be great, wouldn't it?
You always know he's serious when he takes his tooth out.
I thought it was a good game of rugby though.
Yeah.
I enjoyed
really
it.
enjoyed
I
it.
really enjoyed it. Yeah, I thought
I was sad.
all of
I
New
really
Zealand's
would've-
all of the tries were really good.
Yeah, I really would
Yeah.
have loved it for. I mean, it's hard because it definitely probably was PWW's last World Cup match, but it was also Marine Menage's, and that sucks.
Yeah.
And
And it's been really
but
difficult.
You gotta have the winner and the loser.
I think the thing is like it's really sad because she's not had a great tournament. I think
No, not had a great tournament. Also, your twin didn't get to come with you. Also, I hesitate to say that like she.
What would they have done if it had drawn?
they would have gone into overtime.
It would have.
But then what would have happened to the final?
It was a really big gap between the two.
Remember,
was
there
it?
was like
Oh,
an
yeah, there
hour
was,
and a half
wasn't there?
between.
There was like an hour and a half between. It was fine.
I
Maybe
remember
that's
because
why.
I just like obtained
Yeah, of
worse
course.
anxiety.
Yes, it was hell.
I
Yeah.
went outside, did the whole thing, and then managed to sit back down for like an hour. So
Okay, fair. Yeah, I forgot about that.
I had to go see what all chips they had.
yeah. Luckily, obviously, the World Cup was sponsored by Kettle Chips. So
Hey,
did I tell you guys what
I actually
happened?
didn't know that.
It did. Oh, well, see, yeah, you're not in the UK. But did I tell you guys about the crisp giveaway at the end?
No.
So as I'm walking out,
you were like, I don't want to embarrass them.
so at the end of the game, I'm like walking out, and there's like those like mini trucks.
Yes.
Right, there's a bunch of them, and they've just like opened the back of them, and like all these crisps are coming out, and they're just like random people who were definitely underpaid for the task, just being like, "Do you want a bag of crisps?"
You there just taking them all, like, just putting them all into your bag.
I was gonna say everybody knows what those people are like because they've happened at an event that you've attended at some point where they're just like, "You want a bottle of body armor? You want a bottle of body armor? Please."
Yeah. And so, me and my friend Beth were just like stuffing crisps in our bags. And then I got home and I was like, I actually don't want these. So I gave them to my dad.
I was gonna say, you entered student mind where you're like, the food is free, take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't a great match for Menage. I think that Vernier and Grise had relatively good matches.
They've had really good tournaments, to be fair to them. The pair of
They
them.
both did.
It's a shame Grise missed the Sammy.
Yeah.
And we really could have used them. They really could have used her. But
yeah. But the thing that I found really interesting, I don't know if you guys saw it. There was actually an article that came out on Rugby Pass today. About it's called like Here and No Further, how France failed to hit new heights in 2025. And it's basically like a lot of it is like a translation of like media stuff Pauline Bourdon-Sansus has done in the last couple of days.
Cool.
And she's basically been really like, we weren't good enough, team weren't good enough. Like it's really, really interesting. I recommend everyone goes and has a read through. As I said, it came out early today as time of recording, which is Tuesday.
That's really interesting because we don't get
I
much,
didn't expect that.
No, and
we don't get much like this, do we?
No, and well, even more so, I was really surprised that you said that it was PBS because if I were anybody, that is who I would expect isn't going to talk.
Yeah, and I'm
glad she did. Don't get me wrong, I'm very glad she did.
She's the one who
does.
you'd want to shut up because she would be the most. But
well, she literally paid a price for talking. Respectfully and after a match.
Yeah.
Both respectfully and after a match, and she still paid a price.
I'm still, to be honest, I still can't believe they did that.
Yeah.
I can't, and you know what? I do, just because it's going to be the last time we're talking about it, I do want to air out my grievance one more time. I think Falou going into review and not being able to be in her last matches was bullshit, especially after what we ended up watching in the semifinal and or in the bronze medal and final. Sure seems like there wasn't a consistent metric for things like dangerous tackles. I feel like it really sucks that happened. And looking back at it, I feel like, I mean, good for PBS. It was that the team wasn't good enough, but
something which the article writer, I believe it's Jane Harrington who wrote it, said is that David Ortiz and Gail Monroe have reached the end of their contracts and that it's looking likely that they won't be renewed, and that it looks like Elite One coaches are the next up. So there's apparently a couple of them in contention. He doesn't name anybody.
I was going to ask
but yeah, reports and sources, apparently that's what they're saying, which quite frankly, that kind of news is like the biggest French news.
My first thought after hearing that was getting my tinfoil hat out. The only two that I can think of, well, Sandrine Agricole isn't she's not an Elite One coach. She's in top 14, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Pro de or Laure Sansu. But
I don't think Laure's actually a head coach yet. I think she's still just
never mind.
So I don't think
whoever the head coach is of Toulouse, I am guessing, is being looked at.
I think it would be between Toulouse and Bordeaux, but the really interesting thing is it kind of lays out, I won't go into all of it, but it does lay out like how France are kind of contracted. It talks about the fact that the budget, even with it going up in Elite One, will still only be equal to Fédéral 1, which is the third league in French rugby, men's rugby.
What? Really?
Yeah, and that's
really
with it going up. So like currently it's
from fucking nothing.
It says that currently the budgets.
The whole problem at Elite One right now is that like even in the top level, it's barely good. And then in the bottom level, it's absolutely nothing, creating this endless loop of, I mean,
Bordeaux and Toulouse.
I feel really bad. Yeah, well, those are the top. But I'm thinking like Montpellier and below. I mean, I don't know. It drew out a lot of inequality for me already, and where I lost my train of thought is I don't actually know if does Elite One do pro rel? I assume yes. In which case, you would just hand it back and forth forever and ever like the WSL does, which can't get
So it says like currently the budgets are between 400,000 and 800,000 euros a year, and it'll be going up to between 1.8 and 2 million euros per year per club, which, as I said, will be equal roughly to the third tier of men's professional rugby.
I was going to say you still can't pay a whole club on that of just players.
And the way that cost. Yeah, and that's how French budgets work. They are very different.
Oh, I know.
Very different to how British ones tend to work.
I just feel if France sort that out, that I
don't understand why they don't want to do this more, because this is the key.
I know, and they love rugby, and the men's team have been doing really well, and they could be brilliant. They could be the best. Honestly, the women could be the best team in the world, and it's just really frustrating right now.
I think
in the face of the news that we reported over and over and over every week during this World Cup about the viewership in France, there is no reason. I understand that number isn't super duper high, but France is a large country. Right. And that's the thing, is that nobody is expecting, and I would assume France isn't going into this, or FFR isn't going into this thinking that they're going to have the PWR overnight. Nobody does. Nobody can. But you can't pull it out of nowhere. I don't know. I just got too frustrated and I lost it. Sorry, Hattie, go on.
It's really frustrating because the thing is they are pulling in those numbers in a country where rugby is almost at like saturation point. So to be able to do that is very impressive. So yeah, it's just frustrating. And I think with this match as well, you saw a lot of like, I think from both sides, you saw talent more than coaching. I think New Zealand just played off
Yes.
instinct and they did really well.
Yes.
And I think elements of the French team were playing on instinct. So you had the likes of Vernier playing really well. You had the likes of Bournon Sanson playing really, really well. But
France don't look well prepared to me.
no, but
That's
France,
the key of it,
France
which is a
just didn't
coaching thing.
have the oomph like New Zealand had. Like New Zealand had this like,
They didn't
holy
have the
shit, we've lost a match. We want to go out and play. France didn't have that, which was really frustrating.
France didn't have their special sauce, and New Zealand pulled it out because they realized they had to. And that absolutely can come down to coaching, but usually, I mean, at least in practice, it kind of comes more from the player leadership within your team. And we know there has been demoralization. I personally, I have no problems. I put a lot of this back on FFR. I think they could be doing a lot better. I think they know better. I don't think that they're new at this. I think that I'm really glad that we're covering this first, because I think that it's going to draw a really interesting, I was going to say parallel, but it's really more of a contrast with what we're going to discuss in Canada versus England, and what this showed about the different ways that you can develop a women's rugby team. Yes, New Zealand is storied. They are the rugby country. Sorry, South Africa, you're going to be for women's rugby. You absolutely are. We're going to talk about that too. But for women's rugby, the country has always been New Zealand. They have that. They're riding on it. There's no reason France can't, though. They definitely have it in men's.
Absolutely.
And France is the origin of women's rugby. So the fact that they're...
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just very frustrating. I think
France should have been better. I was going to say France should have done better, and I have very little blame to place on individual players.
I think
yeah, definitely.
For me, what we tend to see is like, you have with French coaches, they not French coaches, with French captains, they get selected and they hit a point where they can no longer be captain, and it's not necessarily because they've become a bad player. It's either because they become they either become demoralized, or they become kind of like they have friction with the coaching staff. So we saw that with Gail Hamé. There was quite clearly friction. Yes. And then I think what we saw, you know, we've had Marine Ménager be like just fall apart as a player. Like, I think she
we talked about it a lot in the Six Nations, is that some people, the captaincy makes you a better player because of what it puts on your shoulders. Some people, I hesitate to say fold, because I don't put fold with Marine Ménager. No, she didn't. She just didn't have an amazing tournament. She's not, come on, she's still.
Sometimes the pressure, of the captaincy is too much for a player. Like,
I think it is pressure,
or it can just be it can be the wrong kind of. I mean, the same way that people have different learning styles, pressure can hit people different ways. I hesitate to just say that she like can't perform.
No,
obviously,
I think
that's not.
In my opinion, I feel like it's potentially coming from like higher up than her. There is some sort of pressure that is making her kind of crush, in the same way that Gail Hamé probably felt pressure and she turned it back on them, and they didn't like it.
All of those factors, I swear, they are pointing towards a team that's unhappy and maybe frustrated with the coaching, and that's how it all kind of plays out. That's how it shows from the outside.
And then also us being the fans of other teams that we happen to have two that I can think of off the top of my head, Ireland and Wales, being places where like we have seen the different ways that things can fall apart through almost no fault of the players at all. And it almost always comes back to the union. Yes, it is fine to endlessly critique power. It's fine. Yeah. It's literally always moral.
And with that, we talk about two teams who have two unions who are polar opposites of the spectrum, frankly.
Very different.
Very different. We have Canada versus England, 13-33. Despite getting an initial score, Canada fell to England. I think it's pretty clear to say that professionalism won out. Canada looked quite tired, and England's strength dominated things like the scrum. I did go back and read our comments on our last podcast. Thank you for bumping us up the algorithm.
What I would like to say is, first of all, in my beautiful voice that I know everybody likes me here, England won the World Cup. They deserved to win. They were the better team on the day.
Oh, they definitely were.
There was no
They
question
were the better
about that.
team. No.
However, I still know more about women's rugby than a lot of people who are saying that we don't know ball simply because we said that there was a chance that another team could win. Do you like rugby?
I still stand by that.
It's okay if you don't like women, but do you like rugby? Because we're talking about rugby. And it would be silly to say that Canada didn't have a good World Cup. What would really behoove you, that would make us view you as ball knowers, is if you had the kind of conversation we're about to have, which is about the difference between professionalism and amateurism in rugby in 2025. I feel like this was a really, really, like, I would put this in a textbook if you were to study it in a few years' time, because these are the two different ways that you can develop a top tier team, and England did it better.
Absolutely.
That said, other creators have covered this in kind of more, in a more 360-degree way, about why. So first of all, if you are rather new to what is going on in Canada, because a lot of people are shocked to know, first of all, literally none of those players are professional at all. You need to take that out of your mind. Even if they play in PWR, that doesn't matter. First of all, just to allay that, in PWR, if you are not one of the Red Roses, you are paid very little. If you're foreign, you are paid even less because you are not an England qualified player. But already, you are not making the same money that Meg Jones is, that Abby Ward is. Those are senior players for England. In Canada, you don't get that. The Americans don't get it either. The Australians, the Irish, Welsh, nobody does. So they are not professional. And then the first thing we like to say is to yell at Rugby, in this case, Rugby Canada, and say, pay your women. Well, the men don't get paid either. It's completely amateur. Rugby Canada has no infrastructures throughout their own country for rugby at all. That's why they don't have even their own WER, which is what we have here in America, which is still in its infancy.
Or a men's league. There is no
league at all.
nationwide league at all for any gender or any age.
That was where I was going to lead it into, is that it's not and this is what the other creators have been saying in much more detail, is it's not simply that the women aren't being paid what they're owed. It's that there isn't a well that isn't being, drafted out to them. It's not there. Canada, in terms of its government investment in sport, is variable. Of course, rugby is not the primary sport in Canada. It is higher up than it is in, for example, USA. But Canada doesn't spend money on sport like that at the moment. And as we've talked about before, Canada had to raise $1 million by themselves. That's how they got as far as they did. But $1 million doesn't go very far in rugby. And I think that that's what we saw. Obviously, like, not to take away from any of the English players, there were fantastic performances, and those players are players that really thrive in this professional environment. But anyway,
I mean, for me, looking at it from like a historian point of view, obviously, you do kind of end up looking at like how professionalism in men's rugby took off, and like it's not a direct comparison, but the way I would kind of describe it is the likes of either Canada men, but also like the likes of like Samoa men, who like were still doing really well into the early 2000s because players were able to maybe go overseas and they were able to pick up kind of contracts, like elite contracts,
and because the ceiling was much closer,
and
there were many more
much closer.
people.
Right. But the thing is that gap is pulling away now, and there is not a domestic infrastructure in Canada. They need to do something to build it. If they go along the lines of other kind of tier 2 men's nations have and don't build that, it will be really difficult.
Canada men had a decent side in the 90s.
Yeah,
right.
And it got decimated.
I think that is a little bit of the problem in the Rugby Canada psychology, is that, first of all, it is a very, very rare circumstance. In fact, I'm having trouble, other than like Russia Sevens, which now doesn't exist right now, but other than that one, I can't think of a place where the women are so much more successful than the men, and neither are professional. But I think there is a psychology in Rugby Canada of just like, we can't decide if we're tier 2 or tier 1 because we have a tier 1 team. We don't have tier 1 funding.
Yeah. And as well, the other thing you have to bear in mind is like Rugby Canada are playing at a completely different time of year because there is at least 6 to 8 months of the year that you cannot play rugby in most parts of Canada. So
and the
rugby
thing
is a summer sport.
Yeah.
Like elite rugby is more
of
a summer sport.
Well,
it's a really good point.
It's one of the many reasons why they go to PWR. Obviously, PWR is also the place you want to be. I don't want to take away from the rugby that is played in England. But there's more reason
Anybody
than one.
would rather play elite rugby in their home than travel to another nation. Like, let's be
absolutely.
It's extremely hard. Just today, I just want to drop this really quick, just while we're on the note. But today there was released from, oh my gosh, who?
Abby DeGard.
Abby DeGood. Abby DeGuid, good, sorry. But Matt Merritt put it out today. Was writing about her posts that she put out, in which she did something that most players have not done. It's remarkable that it's been 2 out of Loughborough in a pretty short period of time. Christy Scarfield did as well.
She's going back to sevens.
Yeah, she's going back to sevens, but if you read the release, it didn't sound like anybody was happy except her. So that's said. But Abby is just one of many. And I feel like if people, and the reason that she put out that statement is because to encourage other people to come make these sorts of statements. But she said exactly what we've been talking about here, which is, first of all, you didn't fix my visa. And that's a big thing. And especially for what is in the news in both of our countries, mine in USA, you guys in the UK, about how hard it is to have a job in the UK if you are not English or Welsh or Scottish. That is one problem. Also, it's across an ocean from all of your family and friends. And then, of course, something that I know is going to come up in our comments, so I'm just going to address it now because the statement is always like, well, it's not England's fault that they have all of this money and that they invest all of this. You guys should get your bread up. Get your domestic league up. You can be just like us. Well, like we just said, there's nowhere to go.
Yeah. And also, those same people were saying that Canada's success was built from the PWR. So which way would you like it?
But then, yes. And then I've also seen comments of people saying like that the Canada success was the reason why you didn't need to fund women's rugby.
Absolutely.
Like,
and that was,
you just can't win. There's like,
that was the running narrative before, and I'm really glad that Pamphinapuisa put out her own, and this is another Canadian player, put out her own statement about that. It was really tragic that she got injured when she did, but she ended up being a really great mouthpiece for both Canadian rugby and like all non-professional nations. But she did. She said, just to put a kibosh on all of that, no, winning the World Cup would get us more money than losing the World Cup. That is just another way that people find a way to say that women shouldn't have money.
Yeah.
You're just looking for a way. The reason that they all go to PWR isn't, yes, it is the most competitive or whatever, but it's the one that pays the most, to be honest.
Yeah. And it's not a lot, again.
And it's not a lot. It's just that everywhere else is none.
I've seen comments about the PWR being a gravy train.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Which made me cackle.
We have so many rugby parents in all 3 of our DMs, respectively, from our nations, Welsh, even Scottish, American for sure, where it's just like, my kid doesn't get paid. My kid is Welsh and pays to play on this team. Which is true. My kid is American and plays on they get almost free labor because they end up having to hold a job in the club. You can pay them like $15 a year or whatever they do.
Yeah,
gravy train.
It's been discussed more relative to Wales, to be fair, because there's been a lot of that kind of, oh, Wales are getting paid all this money, blah blah blah, and they're rubbish,
which
blah,
is
blah, blah.
remarkable.
Which is not true. Yeah.
Moving on. We're gonna just touch on Canada again before we talk about England a bit more. The thing that I really have enjoyed has been like, I don't know if you guys have seen it, if you scroll through social media, yes, Canada lost, and yes, as 3 big Canada fans, it wasn't the result that we were maybe cheering for, but it has been really, really nice to see the reactions of so many Canadians.
Yes.
Yeah.
To see, like, yes, they lost, but they were so behind the team and the
It's really
comments
nice
and
that
everything.
even after the loss, it doesn't go the same way. I'm sorry. I will say this because I know it's true, even if it pisses people off. But if England had lost, their fans would be disgusting.
Yeah. And
Would be disgusting in the comments.
the other thing I thought as well was really interesting was that at the game, the only like big dignitary was
Mark Carney.
Was Mark Carney.
Wait, okay. To do defense, wasn't one of the royalty there, but like one of the lesser ones? I might just be making that up.
No, I don't think so. It was the Labour. It was the Labour Party conference, which would be why like Keir Starmer and stuff went there.
Oh, sure. Keir Starmer, big rugby fan.
But like Lisa Nandy, who's the culture secretary.
She was there, was she?
No, she wasn't. She was at the Labour Party conference.
No, she was not.
But you would have assumed if it hadn't have been for that, she would have gone.
Yeah, and we're not actually shaming these MPs and other leaders.
They actually do have like a job to do.
Yeah. They have a job.
Surprised, like Prince William or Kate or whatever.
I was thinking. I thought I saw Prince William, but I didn't.
Supposed to be. She's the patron, isn't she?
She's the patron of the RFU. Although apparently it's illness related.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Was she pregnant again? I don't know.
Well, no, she's got cancer.
No, she's got cancer.
Oh shit, she has cancer. I'm sorry, we don't always remember what illnesses your royals.
But they could have sent somebody else.
I know they could have sent somebody. You could have sent one of the lesser royals.
They could have sent Beatrice. She doesn't do anything.
I was gonna say send one of them that doesn't have weird allegations, if you can find any. Send them.
Oh, maybe not Beatrice then, because of her dad.
No.
All of that.
I think they've just run out.
All of that said, we were really...
And Anne wouldn't want to watch England, would she?
Harry should have gone. He would have liked it. He's a laugh. What I've loved about Canada this World Cup, though, is they've genuinely made me fall in love with rugby again. It's been really... It's been such a
truly a fan of this team. I don't know how you did it, because it's really hard for me to care about another team that isn't mine anymore, because Wales hurt me so much. Sorry, Wales hurt me so much. But I'm opening my heart again.
They do that to you. They do that to you.
I did do it. And so the thing is,
had a lot
throughout my whole friendship with Sean, she's like quietly been planting this in my head, where she's just like, so you know, there will come a time that you're going to have severe clinical depression over this team. And I was like, no, I'm a little puppy and I love all rugby and I'm just gonna love it so much. And then like smash cut 2 years later, and I'm the man in the shadow meme, where I'm just like, I would firebomb that building.
It's been such
make a new one. Just make a new union.
It's just been such a hard couple of years supporting Wales, men and women, and it's just been it's been tough. It's been really tough.
Refreshing to cheer for Canada, because first of all, the vibes are really good even when they lose, and the fans that they have are fans of them, not just if they win.
I just love their style of rugby.
They were just lovely.
Love their style of rugby.
The fans were lovely.
Yeah, the fans were really nice.
That's the other thing. It doesn't hurt that the fans of Canadian rugby are Canadians.
They were awesome, and
they're like
Exeter. I love them.
God's nicest.
Were so good.
God's nicest people.
But I just love the way that they play.
They're like, sorry we beat you.
Yeah,
I hope you have a nice day.
Sorry, I do want to buy you a pint. You must be sad.
I just love them. I love them so much.
They're just delightful.
But yeah, I just love how they play rugby. They just
Did you see Asia Hogan Rochester's dad after the game in that video? Oh.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is England doesn't have a dad like that. That's just because of a cultural difference. No, that's a cultural difference. You first of all, well, you know, we don't have to touch on it. It is definitely going to cause horrible comments. I'm still going to bring it up. It does matter that Asia Hogan Rochester was the first non-binary person to play at the level that they do. Of course
it does.
A
lot of people who complain don't really understand what it means.
You don't understand what it means, and that's totally fine. But here's my thing: is that I've often understood, or I've often seen a cultural thing happen and not understood, and not gone in the comments and be like, "Well, I don't care, so why are you talking about it?" Well, you don't understand women's sports, so okay. And I understand that a lot of you are going to, that somebody will say, well, if they're non-binary, like, why are you talking about women's rugby? Shut up.
I know.
Because there's a non-binary World Cup. Shut up.
I know.
So it does matter. It is, I believe, indicative, and especially because we have similar stuff on the USA team, I do believe that it is indicative because of a different culture. Mm-hmm. But I think that it's it's really, I understand that you don't think you can learn anything from either of our nations, but consider it, because there are non-binary people in England, and I bet they want to play rugby. And there are
But they
gay people in
do.
England, and I
They
bet
do
they
play
want to play
rugby.
rugby. There are trans people in England, and they want to play rugby. If you like rugby, if you really are a fan, why wouldn't you want them there?
Yeah.
And why wouldn't you celebrate it? We celebrate all our other differences. Maybe not England, but the rest of us.
Talking about celebrating England, which is something that we're accused of not doing, I'm going to point out, as somebody who unfortunately lives in England, which I'm sure somebody will complain about me
That
saying
was
that.
a really good way to start off our celebrating England. I agree.
I am going to complain.
I agree.
I'm going to complain about like the media treatment of how it's been. Like England have just won a home World Cup. Yeah, I think they went on Good Morning Britain. I think they maybe went on the One Show for like small segments. But
I went not been what you'd expect.
I went and got newspapers. Fun fact: I'm redecorating my office. This is
and you expected that it was going to be huge.
Yeah, I'm redecorating my office, and I plan on making a big collage. So I've been buying lots of newspapers. Like every Saturday, Sunday, I head to the shop and I buy newspapers. The guy thinks I'm mental. Just to let you all know.
He thinks you just have a very
he's
special
happy
interest.
because you're actually buying the physical newspapers.
I was just going to say, because you're buying it. You're buying it, and you're not just standing there reading it and then putting it back on the shelf.
Yeah. Well, I am doing that to check whether or not it's got women's rugby in it. But then I'm buying like 4 papers.
I was going to say, you're not consuming it all.
No.
If it's there, you're going to
So funny story about this, actually. A couple of weeks ago, I went to the shop and bought like 4 or 5 papers, right? I then left the shop and I got a text from my mum, and it was like, my mum lives down the road, and she was like, can you go back to the shop and can you get me the Tory graph, because the university guide is in there. My mum works at university. I was like, sure, I'll go back. So I had to go back, buy the Tory graph, and
she's just gonna keep calling it the Tory graph. I just love
that's what it's called. Yeah, that's what it's
I know it is, but I like how I've been so careful to just be like, now when you get mad at me in the comments, and Hattie's like, you're gonna get mad at me in the comments.
I don't care.
I don't care. Go on.
I think everyone knows how I feel about the Tories anyway.
But it is the Tory graph. Even the Tories call it the Tory graph. Anyway, go on.
Anyway, so I went back in the shop, picked up the Tory graph, went to the counter, and the guy behind the counter was like, did you need another newspaper? And I was like, apparently. But anyway, when I went on Sunday, I was really surprised because, like, obviously we've had the Euros over the last couple of, like, England have won the Euros, and it would literally be on every single newspaper. I live in Buckinghamshire. We've got Helena Rowland is from Aylesbury, and then Zoe Harrison's from Tring, which is Hertfordshire, but it's very, very close. We get a lot of those newspapers. None of the local newspapers have had those on, whereas like Leah Williamson and I'm completely blanking on her name, but she's from Aylesbury as well. She retired after the first Euros win. What's her name? She's like the highest goal scorer. Ellen White.
Oh, yeah.
She's from Aylesbury. So no, like the local newspapers, when like England would win the Euros, it would be like on those because they were like hometown heroes.
Was it
Helena Rowland?
Was it the last Six Nations or was it the last World Cup? Oh God, I can't remember because the World Cup was more recent than it usually would be because of COVID. But they were celebrating. They put murals up of everybody in all their hometowns when Skaz got the mural.
No, that was this World Cup.
Oh, you did that for the roll up and you didn't. Okay.
So anyway, like it wasn't on the newspapers. Like the only newspaper that did a full page spread, like full front cover, whatever, is the Guardian. Well, it was the Observer because it was Sunday. So shout out to we're going to call our friend of the pod, even though I don't know if she actually listens. Jessica Hayden, who wrote the Red Roses book. Yeah, because she is the associate editor of the sport in the Observer.
She's written some good stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, it was front page on there. Others, it was just like half of the bottom of the page. The Daily Mail obviously had nothing. The Sun had nothing. I wouldn't buy those anyway. And then when I went on Monday, bearing in mind, like when England have won the Euros, it has been like front page of the newspaper for like 2 weeks. I went on Monday and the only newspaper that had anything on the front was The Guardian. So we're going to take all of our Guardian slander back.
take it back. Guardian, by the way,
they did
I
like
was gonna say, Sean said 2 of 3 of us take it back.
But they had like a full I think it's 14 pages insert in the Monday paper about it. Like,
I can't believe how
it's
little.
mental to me.
It is also. I think it's really bad. Like, because I in work, I walk past the so the BBC Wales desks. They have all the newspapers out every morning. I think they're looking through the articles, so I see all the newspapers every day when I walk past. And I was kind of like, oh, I'm just gonna like ignore the papers this morning because like I don't really want to see all England.
I don't want to know. I don't want the news spoiled for me.
But I did look anyway, didn't I? Because it's like looking, I had to look, and I could not believe there was just nothing. Relatively, I was just like, "What?"
That's kind of crazy.
It was just,
and now I was like, I was kind of dreading. I was dreading all the coverage, and now I'm annoyed that they're not covering it. It's really bad.
You were handed an absolute gift for our sport, and I understand maybe rugby isn't the national sport for England or the whole of UK, whatever. Sure, but like this was a gift. It was home. It was your team winning. It's a sport that, and I don't even just mean the UK, but whatever. There have been a bunch of stories, but rugby for women is globally growing. It's really not just the main rugby nations. As a sport, it's growing. This was all handed to you. And your team put on a fantastic performance. It isn't even like, I know
they won big as well. It wasn't like they,
this like, would have been a slam dunk for you to put it on to make it full page.
Ellie Kildare scores an amazing try.
If Canada had won, it would have been in American papers. It would have been so big.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Like Ellie Kildare scored like an amazing try in the final of the World
Cup. And Ellie Kildare, your darling. It's your own
like,
darling. Why would you not come support her?
I just don't
Abby Ward scored a try, another media darling in England. Like,
oh my gosh.
Why? Yeah. Why is this not being celebrated?
Even the BBC didn't seem to do that much on it, and they did for the Euros. I was like, I couldn't believe it.
Like, I was going on like my normal news pages, and like you would have to scroll down to sport, and it would be one of several things being covered. Again, Euros, like the England men losing the Euros was front page. Like, it's so crazy to me.
Sean loved it. It did make her feel good.
I did quite enjoy it.
I do love it when English men lose.
Oh yeah, when the men lose.
Did you enjoy the racism?
She does. Oh, see, and I'm laughing, and then you're like, "Did you like the racism?"
I did not enjoy the racism.
I didn't like. I almost never liked the racism.
Oh, it was bad. The racism after the England men lost the Euros.
Oh God, yes.
Oh, was it about the black players? Yeah. Okay, so I do remember hearing about this. And there have been like terrible. There have been terrible influencers now like going around and being like, would you still support England if it had all black players?
And they're like,
if they're English, shut up.
And they're like, yeah, I love Cole Palmer. You do know his granddad's black.
Killing it.
Anyway, I just thought it was really like shit that it was like, oh yeah, we've blinked and it's over.
For whatever all 3 of us personally feel about it, like they deserved better. Those girls deserve better.
Totally.
While they have more resources, whatever, we can quibble about the rugby of it, but like they won the Cup.
Like, I'm not being funny. Like the Ryder Cup was getting more coverage in some of the newspapers, and I'm not being funny.
You know what? What? That's our fault. That's our own fault. It's Americans' fault. I promise you. It's the reason it got covered at all is because of America. Is because of fucking Donald Trump.
But like, I think there's like
I'm not electioneering. Don't vote for him.
There's like one British guy on the team. Everybody else is Irish, I think. I don't know. I don't watch golf. I don't care. The only thing
could be part of it though, because
actually,
golf
that's fair.
does have the Ryder Cup does. It's all about hierarchy, isn't it, in the UK? So like golf.
Yeah, but a men's rugby World Cup would be really higher than.
I'm not sure it would.
Than the Ryder Cup.
I'm not sure if it would. I'm not sure if it would actually. But
if England men won a home World Cup. In rugby, it would be higher than the Ryder Cup.
Yeah. That would be, yeah.
It's just sexism. That's all that's happened. Is just sexism.
It didn't happen with the Lionesses so much, though.
Oh no, it's genuinely
maybe there's just more than there's a couple of streams being crossed here. So
oh no, you know what I think? I mean, other than England and its own stuff that we've talked about before, but I do think if we're going to be throwing around the racism, which is absolutely true, I think there's a little bit of classism too. One is much more posh than the other. Well,
no, rugby's very posh in England.
I keep forgetting this. So for the listeners, I do have to keep being reminded by both Sean and Hattie that rugby is posh. in the UK because it's a complete
Not in
Not in
Wales.
Wales. Not in Wales.
Oh, and oh my God, definitely not Wales. Okay, so in my mind, Wales is already independent. In my mind, Wales is independent.
I wish.
Independent Wales. I do.
wish.
Well, to me, it's real. It's Cymru. It's real. No kings of Wales. I don't think.
No, we do. Michael Sheen.
That's legal. That's legal. That's legal. And actually, kind of also a king here.
Yeah. What a man.
What a man. And we don't say that on this pod very often.
Yeah.
So,
do you know
so
what?
to all of you, we would like to say, if you're English, congratulations. You personally won the Women's Rugby World Cup.
How was the final there, Hattie? How was your actual
and then, of course, please tell us
match
how
experience? I'm intrigued.
Yeah, was it incredible? Did you get gassed out like they accidentally gassed people out at Ashton Gate?
Oh, what with the
Six Nations? Yeah.
Yeah. So on the one hand, it was nice looking around and seeing people getting very emotional, teenage girls, young girls looking very emotional, even older people looking very emotional. It was, I'm going to say it, we've just complimented a man. We're going to compliment men again. It was very nice to see old men getting very, what's it about the fact that a women's,
we have been very consistent about this. We talked about how great the old men were for South Africa. We have absolutely been consistent about this.
But these
we love old men getting into women's rugby.
Yeah. So
podcast is pro that.
That was very nice. The downside was being stuck with like 80,000 England fans singing Swing Low.
That is awful.
Out of tune.
Out of tune. Well, English.
Yeah, it's yeah.
I would like to say, wait. Only because like if we hadn't already gotten canceled by a million different subgroups of listeners, I would like to give you the opportunity right now, Hattie, to perhaps diss the people who were sitting behind you. Because they did get coverage. Did you see that like they got a little bit of traction? Yeah.
Yeah.
Gross.
One, congratulations on your engagement. Very nice. However, However, you were being very annoying behind me. You spilt your drink. It went all over my bag.
She texted both of us. She was like, there is a straight, and us three could say this, there's a straight couple behind me and they are terrible and they just got engaged. I was like, which one is the cup? At the quadrennial lesbian conference.
Oh, and then their friend who was sat with them, who I later discovered was gay, was like talking about rugby lesbians versus,
to be kind, is gay.
And football lesbians. And like she kept calling them football lesbians as if they were like a dog, like breeds of dog.
The breed of lesbian. In fairness, we can say it. You can't if you're not.
But it just made me very uncomfortable because she clearly didn't know anything about sport.
I hate this too, and I could actually go on a rant, and I won't. I promise I won't. But you probably don't know actually, because you probably cast it out of your mind. Don't be fucking weird with rugby players and their sexualities and who they're dating. Don't do that. That's gross. That's weird.
Right.
We don't do it in
rugby. Hang on. I'm having a rant.
Yes. I did it. I finally did it. It only took the Rugby World Cup final.
To the teenage girls and women in their early 20s on TikTok.
By the way, caveat, we are all three queer women. We're allowed to say this. Go on.
For the love of God, don't sexualize rugby players. Male
we really can't
or
do
female.
This right now.
Male or female. Especially female.
Don't ship them.
Don't ship them. They are not paid enough. They are not famous. They've got a couple of thousand.
They do not make Lucy Bronze money. Do not treat them like Lucy Bronze.
They do not deserve this. They are private individuals. They play sport for our entertainment and probably are going to have brain damage later on in life, and they're getting a grand total of like £4.50 and a bag of crisps for the privilege. So please leave them alone. Please do not try and go like, I think this one is dating this one when one of them has been in a public relationship for years, because that's weird, and one of them is straight. Don't go and say that one of them. Don't say they're in a throuple
when two of them are married. It's fine.
Yeah, don't say that one of them who has a boyfriend publicly might be queer and you hope that she's gay. That's also weird.
Also, here's the thing:
Is
they
this
also
actually
use.
going on in TikTok?
Oh yes, you were
I'm
busy
not on
when we were.
TikTok enough.
I was gonna say, well, and the night that
And
we were
I
talking
blocked
about
her
it.
immediately.
Yeah, the night that we were talking about this, that it happened. Actually, friend of, I think it was Leslie who pointed it out to me. Friend of the pod, Leslie. I think you were busy that night, Sean, and I was really glad because
It would have sent you
honestly,
over the edge.
It would have sent you over the edge. And you know what? All three of us, it really upsets us, especially because of the ages that we all are and the circles that we have all run in our lives. So first of all, don't ever transvestigate. That's not happening here. Don't queervestigate. It's not the WNBA. It's not the WSL. These people aren't paid that much. They're professional in name only. And then also for a very long time, for much longer than something like soccer or basketball, it has been dangerous to be out and queer in rugby. Rugby is also played in a lot of places where you can't. So don't. If people are out and they're Cleena Maloney and Claudia McDonald probably don't mind if you assume that they are married, because they are, and there are pictures online. However, like Hattie has said, there are times when you notice that two people hang out together a lot. Would you like...
They're posting in the same bedroom or whatever on Instagram stories, but they also have 2,000 followers. Leave them alone. They're private people.
That's the thing, is that they also didn't know that you were looking, because for the longest time until right now, and by the way, this will go off on a completely other one, so I won't try to go down that much, but you're new here. You don't know these people's history. This is not your sport. It's different if it's these people that you've been following since they were 16 and signed in the Arsenal Academy, and you know every little single thing about them because they have giant, massive public lives. That's not the case here. These are all people who have day jobs, which is yet another reason you cannot assume about them. And definitely don't post it. And don't make videos about it.
And a lot of them are like teachers.
A lot of them are teachers.
And they coach children. Leave them alone.
Especially because you are so new to women's rugby. It's okay if you don't know. And I will say this across the board, and there's a good reason, so I'm going to get to it. But across the board, the people that we saw doing this were all English. I jumped into the comments because I had one beer and I was really not liking what some people were saying, especially one. I don't even remember the name, and she's not involved in rugby. I don't think she's seeing this, but you don't know how long it's taken to be able to be out in rugby. You don't know the history of these people. You don't know if, I think about, Celia Kwanzaa is really, really, really brave to be out the way she is. Celia Kwanzaa is Meg Jones's partner. I can say that because I have followed both for a very long time, and they're very public. And both of them have said they want to be LGBTQ ambassadors. That's fine. Absolutely do that. We want to celebrate it. But Celia Kwanzaa is Ghanaian, and she has talked openly about the problem of taking Meg back to Ghana. She's probably not the only one. There are lots of other players from lots of walks of life that you, as an English person who only know the Red Roses for the last 2 weeks, know. Please respect people. These are not public figures the way you know. Just learn a little bit about rugby before you put their names in their mouth.
Yeah. And that's our
Please
rant.
don't do that.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Just
I didn't
leave
mean
them
to,
alone.
but Hattie let me. I promised that I wasn't going to do any rants that got us canceled, and I have almost done it so far. So,
but also, I just
think
find
we should all say about how good I am.
I just find it annoying and weird because, like, especially, like, we don't do it to men in rugby either.
Oh,
like we don't.
And that goes too deep for these brand new people.
Like,
yeah,
you don't. There aren't gossip sites about rugby wags. There are for football wags. Like, it's a different sport. It's a different culture. Leave these private people alone.
And in fact, the one time that I can think of in the recent past where this kind of dialogue has possibly started to happen is Antoine Dupont, and it was quashed. There were some less savory, either, I don't remember, I think it was just online outlets maybe that were just like, oh, maybe he's gay because he doesn't have like a wife we all know about. Absolutely not. We're not doing that. We're not doing it.
Yeah. There was, when he got a girlfriend, it was like a bit of gossip because she's a bit famous in France. And then she's a model. Yeah. And then it's just died down. And that's how.
And again, if these women were making model money, we'd probably have a different opinion, but they're not. They're mostly teachers, they're in the military, or they're like the person who works at the front desk at your dentist. Like, that's who these people are.
I just find it really weird. I find it weird.
Why?
Like, make posts on, like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
We also realise the kind of ridiculous nature of this as we are all sat here wearing Sophie Degoty t-shirts. However,
but the
we're
only
not
thing on this
infringing on
shirt-
her public life. This is her playing rugby.
These are all pictures of her playing rugby. I think that she is the goat of playing rugby. I don't think she's the goat of being a queer woman, and I say that because she is open about it. But
I don't care. I literally don't care. I just, like, I don't
a lot
care
of
what
this,
she does
well,
in her
and so
private
that's
life.
the thing, is that well,
we would
don't
love
need to
her
go-
if she was straight as well.
we would love her if she was straight as well.
I
I'm
just
trying to think
love
of a straight
her.
player. I'm trying to think of a
Love her.
straight player that I love and respect.
Abby Ward.
Abby Ward, absolutely.
Ward, yeah.
Abby Ward is one, and I even like her male husband. So I think I'm pretty DEI.
Yeah.
So I think I'm pretty DEI. No,
I like Renee Holmes. She's straight, I think, isn't she?
Yeah, Renee Holmes. That works.
I love Renee Holmes.
Stacey Walker.
Absolutely. Stacey
Stacey
Walker.
Walker.
That
I
was
love
who
Stacey
I was
Walker.
trying to think of. That was who I was trying
Georgia
to think
Miller,
of.
I think she's straight, isn't she? I think.
Well, see, now we're straight investigating.
Oh no! Oh god, shit! Yeah.
no. My joke there was that you're allowed to straight investigate because it doesn't put anybody at risk.
Well, no.
Unless, well, so here's the thing: is until you start getting a
Larissa
bunch more money.
Henwood. Very infamously married to a New Zealand rugby player.
Yes.
There we go.
Man.
And even better, she's Brazilian and not Kiwi.
Yeah.
She's both, unfortunately, but it's fine.
It's fine, but she lives in Japan. Anyway, with
Hannah
all of
Jones,
that,
I love Hannah Jones.
And here's the thing. I know this time, unlike we usually do, we did not talk that much about the actual rugby, but also we assume if you were watching this particular episode, you saw it.
Yeah. And also, if you come to Women's Rugby Treehouse for rugby analysis,
sometimes we do good. Sometimes we do good.
Little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Just to quickly touch on rugby analysis, though, I do think Hannah Bottoman got very lucky to get away with an instant yellow rather than it going to the bunker.
The reason that I brought up the Faloo is because, that's crazy. Like, that was, by the way, just a straight yellow and she still got a ban. That should have gone to the bunker. That was really irresponsible. I blame TMO. I don't blame Holly. I blame TMO. But that was a spear tackle, like, flat out.
It was clear. It was a Sam Warburton.
And you didn't even need replay. You didn't even need
Sam
replay.
Warburton special. It was
she got really lucky that it was Holly reffing, and Holly likes to make quick decisions sometimes.
Yes.
And just
because I was gonna say, in a final, when you hear all the crowd going, oh, and you absolutely did for this one, was people are like, oh.
I love Hannah Bottoman. She was
a very lucky call.
She was playing very, very well up to that point. And I think I even texted you guys being like,
a great game.
IMO, she's like player of the match for me. And then she did that and I was like, oh, you took that too far. You got too amped up. That was like Sarri's Hannah Bottoman, not Bear's Hannah Bottoman.
I was gonna say, I will say that it was at that to me in the moment, I was just like, oh, you got too comfortable. Like when when you start thinking that you can pal around with like your boss or teacher or something where it's just okay, got too big for your britches, and that
I also think the result wasn't a massive surprise to me, really. Maybe a little bit closer, but I don't know. But the way that England bullied, I've said it before, they bully teams. That's how they win. And they did it again. They just.
What I was gonna say is, by the way, we should have said it at the time, and maybe we wouldn't have gotten the hate that we did. But the only reason that we feel so comfortable being so in this case pro Canada, but also like anti the one like hegemon leader is because like you could get that everywhere else. Like there should be people cheering for underdogs.
But to be fair, England weren't playing. They weren't playing their best.
They weren't. No, that was where I was going to end with my thought was the reason, the other side, the reason that we felt so comfortable doing it is because, like, did we deep down kind of know England was going to win? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, and because of everything that we talked about in the first half of this episode, because all of the indications said that they would win.
Yeah.
And they did.
I also will say, I don't think you know, there's a lot of the like, oh, well, England are the best team in the world. I think if they did actually put out a second string England team, Canada would have beaten them.
I agree.
Would have run them ragged.
Yeah. But I also think that this was an incredibly tired Canada team.
I was just going to say it was grueling for Canada. And again, that was what drew the like very obvious line between professional and amateur is you cannot recover.
Yeah, like they've had to, a lot of their players have had to play really, really high minutes. Julia Shell came off, I believe, at like 65 minutes. That was the first, yeah, that was the first time
first minute
missed.
she didn't play.
Yeah. Like it was mental how long she played. Sophie de Goody played an incredible amount this World Cup. She missed a cup. She came off the pitch a couple of times in the group stage when the win was in, but otherwise she's played insane numbers compared to England, where a lot of the players were getting rested for games in the pool stage.
They were rotating the squad.
Yeah, and they've had a lot
is the real benefit of the England Day idea.
Yes.
And they also rotated a lot in the Six Nations as well. So they've had time together, they've trained together, they've been playing together, etc. But they've also had a lot of rotation, so they're not tired in the same way that Canada were. Canada had a lot of warm-up games because they needed them. Because they don't spend that time together, but unfortunately that also added to the fact that they got to the end and they were tired. And it isn't like the Men's World Cup where in the last couple of years where they've had like 5 teams in the pool stage, so you get a bit of a longer break at some point.
Yes,
it's 4 teams, so you're playing every single weekend. Yeah, it's just tiring. And with that, oh, no, you go.
Oh no, all I was gonna say was to wrap all of that up, like it was a final that didn't shock anybody on this panel. At the same time, like obviously congratulations England. Like you proved a lot of points, and then also you played good rugby, mostly good rugby. Great.
And I hope that Asian Hogan Rochester gets a PWR contract so I can see them more often. For some reason in my head they were playing for Saracens this year and they are not. Asia, if you're watching this, which you aren't, let's be honest, but if you are and you want a rug boo-boo with glitter on, let me know. Well, hang on, I've got I've got rug boo-boo.
You do have rugby boo. Well, it's rug boo-boo because when you say rugby boo, for me in my head, I was just like, are you coming on to Asia Hogan Rochester on our podcast? Like you can just DM them.
This is Rug Boo-Boo's podcast debut.
Oh,
so this is Rug Boo Boo. Rug Boo Boo has gone to, I think, all of the matches, every match that Hattie has been to. This is, by the way, what Hattie is putting her PhD to use for.
Dirty.
PhD time, but it's dirty from all that travel.
We've been a lot of places, me and Rug Boo Boo.
I didn't even know what they were until you mentioned it. I'm a proper nana. It's got a little Welsh ball though.
Yeah, it's got a little Welsh ball. I've bought some more Labubu's.
And by the way, I'm so sorry, but
Rug
Boo Boo did get to carry Wales further than Wales did.
I heard.
Although
now
we've got 2 Welsh winners.
We do, by the way.
I was going to say.
Oh my God, do the joke. I think that the joke came from Sai. I think that he told the joke on, I don't know now. I don't know how to pronounce the name of the account, but it's Owain something rugby.
Oh, it was Owain Glyndŵr.
Yeah, but Sai runs it, doesn't he? That's the name of his podcast. I
don't know who runs that account, to be honest.
Okay, well
I don't know, but they're funny.
The one that made the joke. What is the joke? I'm gonna get it wrong. So Hattie, can you say it, or Sean?
Oh,
Cardiff Quins.
Yeah, Cardiff Quins.
I think his original joke was Glantard, but actually Cardiff Quins have now produced 2 World Cup winners.
Yeah, so Cardiff Quins have produced more World Cup winners than any of the Irish private schools put together.
I mean, to be fair, also I'm a WRU.
Yeah.
So,
and Cardiff Mets produced them because that's where Tatiana Hurt went.
Yes. Yeah. I am quite proud of Cardiff.
Did Tatiana go to Cardiff Met?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You knew that.
So now I did know that, but now we're fighting with, so just only because it's like a fun fact and I'm not going to be able to talk about it again for a while. Tatiana Hurt is USA qualified.
Yeah.
So I was hoping that like we could maybe do a Lottie Clap situation where like maybe when she's like, oh, I don't know, like maybe I'm not gonna, but when is Tatiana Hurt ever not going to get minutes? But whatever. that was how we got Lottie Clapp onto USA, was that she just wasn't getting Red Roses time. So she did her stand down and she was already qualified via parents. And so is Tatiana Hurd. So Tatiana, if for some reason you stop being one of the best centers in the world, and you want to be just a pretty okay center in the world.
And you want to play with the Lev.
And you want to play with the Lev. You know where our giant country is because your dad's here.
And also, does your brother want to play in MLR?
Also, does your brother want to play in MLR? We would like to talk to him. Tatiana Hurd, I know you're listening. Put your brother on the phone.
Yeah. With that, awards. Not only are we giving awards, World Rugby Awards were given out. I'm going to have to say this out. I'm really sorry. It's tickling my...
I don't know why you committed to it in that way.
World Rugby Awards. So instead of, letting the women go to the actual awards ceremony, I'm assuming it's going to be in Monaco because it normally is. They were... I don't know. So first of all...
Didn't they do this last time too?
No.
No, I don't think so.
No. So the reason why this annoyed me, first of all, Holly Davidson's award, I was like, what's this award? This can't be an actual World Rugby Award. And then it was the referee award, but she got given it like 3 days early. And I was like, well, that doesn't make any bloody sense. And then the World Breakthrough Player of the Year, Coach of the Year, and Player of the Year were given out.
Were just kind of haphazardly announced.
At the end. Which was really weird.
It was weird. I couldn't believe it when I saw that it was announced. I was like, what? We've just played the final. Why is this a thing now?
Yeah.
So
if
last
you really
year,
when they want to capitalize on your momentum, chill.
Last year when they did the awards, they held them at the same time that WXV was on. So they just announced the women's awards the following week. But the thing is, like, obviously Coach of the Year is like...
that might have been what I was thinking.
Yeah. That's what I thought it was. Coach of the Year is like, can go to anyone, but it only ever goes to a women's coach during a Women's World Cup year. So it kind of assumed that it would go out. But it's just the fact that they were just like handed out at the end. It was just
and I mean...
The one thing I will say, though, is that they definitely knew who was getting what, because Braxton Sorensen McGee, John Mitchell, and then Sophie Degoody were all lined up, ready to go on the stage.
We were like, wow, what are they all standing together for?
I was like, why is Sophie Degoody on the other end of the pitch to the rest of the team?
What brings these three together?
Maybe they're going to sing.
Yeah, exactly. They were going to... I would have... no, that's stupid. I would have loved it if there was some like really cute moment between P-Dubs and Braxton, but whatever.
Yeah, but like the only... But
I do think P-Dubs is going to end up winning a Lifetime Achievement Award, so
yeah,
she'll
be like Hall of Fame at some point. Anyway,
I think she's going to end up like Farrah Palmer level.
Yeah. But the thing that annoyed me is that, like, one, does that mean that they'd chosen John Mitchell before the final?
Yes.
But what if Kevin Rouet had won? Because objectively, he was a better coach.
I genuinely do not think that he was in contention. Or I think that he was in contention, but he was never going to... Okay. So coaching, it's going to surprise everybody, but coaching is the one that I have the biggest issue with. Because Twice de Bruin...
Yep.
If not Kevin Rouet, it was Twice de Bruin.
I have said
friend of our family of podcasts, Twice de Bruin.
Yeah. I mean, I've been kind of hinting at this, but I just don't think that John Mitchell is a good women's rugby coach.
I don't either. And I said that in mixed company recently, and I was told I was wrong. I was told by English that I was wrong. Even though the women themselves are kind of about him, and New Zealand hated him.
But the thing is, like Hannah Bottoman went on a podcast and was like, yeah, obviously there's been a transition and he's had to learn how to coach women, blah, blah. That was like 8 months ago.
And that's really bad,
that's
by
just
the way.
Mad. That's just really bad. That's really bad. Like,
that's really bad.
I think it would take a really, 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 really bad coach to fuck England up. Like,
exactly.
Come on.
And if you are
at home World Cup,
if you are,
I think Johan could have coached them to win. Sorry, I do. I think Johan could have done it.
So here's where I was going to go: is England is a turnkey team. That is a testament to, in my opinion, the Red Roses themselves, not the coaching, not RFU for sure. But if you are going to take this mantle of just like we are inevitable, then you have to unfortunately take the baggage of we are inevitable, which I agree, you were inevitable, but there's baggage that comes with it, which is just like, yeah, and then also the people around you don't have to do much to make you win.
Well, England have got the biggest coaching team out of anybody, and they're permanent. they've
I was gonna say
been
rotating huge names.
yeah, like they've been locked in since the last World Cup. Like it's such a solid backroom staff that nobody else can compete with. One of them being Sarah Hunter, who went from
I was
captain
literally
to
just
defence
thinking of
coach.
Sarah Hunter. I was
And
literally
I think,
just
yeah,
thinking
quite-
the same.
I think if it's not Joe Yap, Sarah Hunter is probably the coach in waiting.
Yeah, and not
Yeah,
only that, but
yeah,
like Sarah
agreed.
Hunter has been like, if I had to pick out
She's
what has
great.
been the best thing in this tournament for England, it has been their
Agreed.
defence.
Yes,
And that's all
definitely.
her.
I was just
Sarah-
gonna say, is Sarah
100%.
Hunter? I agree. I think she's a great coach.
Yeah,
I
but
think
like,
she's droll.
yeah,
think she's
but then like in comparison, the attack has been a bit.
You take we said this last week. If you take Ellie Kildun out of that attack, it gets a little bit
we literally saw, and it became
Like,
ropey, and
the
yeah, and we also got to see, even though England isn't the best test case to show this at all, but an unsettled backline or a rotating backline almost never works amazingly.
because I think
it definitely
I
didn't
think
for
in
them.
the final it was all forwards apart from Ellie, wasn't it? That scored. Were they all like
Yeah,
they were all Roland Morley type?
yeah.
Or
Amy
close-
Cocaine,
close
two
range.
from
Lark
Alex
Beckman
Matthews,
Davis.
and Abby Ward, not Lark.
Oh, not Lark. Sorry,
No,
I
it was
was thinking
it was Amy.
Amy, my bad.
Which has been quite sort of, I don't know, that didn't really surprise me at all.
No, I was just gonna say that's very England. It's something we've complained about.
And I think when John Mitchell first came in, he kind of tried to change their attack and make them more of a backs team. And
he said we're not doing rolling malls anymore.
Yeah, but they've had to revert to that in the last like couple of months because
they did
the back line wasn't working. And I think if you've got something that could be used as a weapon, use it. Like if it's going to get you wins.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But like
100%.
that's not
if
taking...
Wales were winning like that, I wouldn't care.
I think that England team can do a lot more if they had.
They've got the players to do it.
They've
a
got
lot
the
more.
players. They could like. I said it on Rap yesterday.
But you have to innovate, and I don't think that John Mitchell can innovate.
Yeah,
that's my
like. I think that the 2022 England team could beat the 2025 England team.
100%, yes.
Because they were more innovative. They were a much tighter team. This England side, they're just always a bit disjointed, and it's just a bit like, yes, they are winning. Yes, we're nitpicking, but like there is so much potential in this team that is not being realised. And like if they had a Kevin Rouet coming in, they would be.
I don't feel any need to particularly coddle him, so I'm just going to say it. Like if he were a more inspiring coach, we would know about it. Because think about the teams that do have inspiring coaches. South Africa is always talking about Swice ever since he came in. Were we
even Wales talking about Sean?
Even Wales,
yeah. No. That's what I was going to do. When Sean started coming in, they started talking about coaching way more than they did when there was Johan. But what I was thinking was Canada. And was it us that we were I've been talking to a lot of people, but somebody recently, and I think it might have been us, has been talking about the big difference that they see with Kevin Rouet separated from every other coach is that like
us.
Oh, it was you. Okay. When they're hanging out, like
I
understand. Yeah. Again, this is definitely going to be both like a socio-political culture thing that is different in the USA and Canada, that like you see a coach as kind of also one of your dudes, but there's also I don't know, I think there's merit to that. And I do know that in the past, I think about the last England win, when it was Streety, they definitely kept talking up about how all of this win
they still talk about him.
They still talk about him. I don't.
No offense to John Mitchell, but if John Mitchell had some sort of accident or needed fundraising something, I don't think that they would stand behind him in the way that they have with She. I'm sorry.
For me, some offense to John Mitchell, because it sounded like you were a complete dick, at least at your old job. I really hope you're not now.
I think he's just a very strange man.
I think he's a strange man. Well, so this is also a little bit breaking-y news. Not really, because like there isn't any news. It's just a man talking about his ambitions. But he's already now talking about how he wants to step away to be the Lions women's coach, as if he is a man in waiting.
That's
okay.
a big ego.
Oh, okay. Scott Beamond is right there. But okay. Sure.
Sean Lynn is around the corner.
Well, and I said that as well. I was like, I honestly think of the three that it could be, because the Scott, and I say this for the Scottish fans, the Scotland women's coach position is currently vacant.
Yeah. As the physios pointed out on TikTok earlier, they don't have a boss.
Yeah, they don't have a boss, so they're having a lot of fun. And you know what? I love it when women have fun.
Yeah.
Go off, queen.
Yeah.
And we would like now, since we have mentioned this, we would like to throw our WRT opinion into the mix. We know they're always listening. Our opinion, and I don't love this because I do know how it sounds. It's okay. We have a group opinion, and then we have my own opinion. I think it should be Claire Kirkshank, but we understand for some reason they're just never doing it. So if it really isn't going to be Shanks, call Susie Appleby. I have her number because I gave her some of my World Cup tickets. So if you need it, SRU, find me on Ancestry.com. Email me.
Or Joe Yap is available.
Joe Yap.
Get
Joe
her
Yap
before
is
England
available.
do.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would be fine if it ended up being Joe Yap. The only reason I didn't say that first is because I do know
She might
that,
get
and
the England job.
She wants the England job, big time.
That's what it is she's expressed very clearly she wants the Red Roses job.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think
she'd be great at it, to be fair.
Right. The only thing I think Susie is just that Susie hasn't yet got to be a head coach. And I don't think that it's
she was head coach in Exeter, but
national, sorry.
Yeah.
National
I really would love the Red Roses to have a woman coach. I think that would be awesome.
I think that's the next step for them
has to be
as well.
inevitable.
Yeah.
I think it has to be.
I think
if you're pushing so hard on we're for the girls.
Yeah.
You can't have another bald white guy.
And let's be frank,
do that voice again. We're for the girls.
England probably have like the most female coaches and probably the best female coaches.
They do.
So why not?
Agreed.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think it'll either
I feel like you have Sarah Hunter sitting right there. If you really don't want to look at all the other amazing coaches you have,
she's right there. I mean, I could either see like they bring Joe Yap in, like they get rid of John Mitchell and they bring Joe Yap in. I think that's maybe less likely now that he's won Coach of the Year. Or he gets like a small, I think if he became British and Irish Lions head coach, I think Sarah Hunter would be the interim coach, and then I think she'd just take over.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, they would do something
weird
gross like that. Yeah. Sorry, that's gross to me. She earned it.
Yeah, she did. With that, we've talked about how weirdly World Rugby did their awards, and we want to fix that.
Wait. Braxton Sorensen McGee won Breakout Star.
Yeah,
we talked about Sophie. We talked about them standing there, but we didn't.
Oh
say
yes. Well, she won. Who
well
else
deserved.
Win?
Well deserved.
She won the Breakout Star. It was the one that when the nominees were announced, it was.
She scored like what is it? She scored
she was the top try scorer.
No, but she scored like 14 tries in like 8 matches or something. Mad? It's an insane strike record.
She's
18.
She met and then beat P Dubs.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, 14 tries in 8 tests.
No, P Dub's still winning.
Oh, okay.
I think she beat P Dub in one World Cup, but not in the other.
Oh, okay.
No.
I'd buy that.
Yeah. Okay. Am I allowed to go to the next bit of the podcast now?
Yes, sorry. I just wanted to make sure that we gave everybody their flowers. God forbid.
I
only talk about the teams that I like.
I think BSM is going to have plenty of flowers over the next couple of years.
I was going to say, I think that New Zealand has just put smartly put all their money in women with 3 names.
Yeah. Valid.
Fair.
Valid. Moving on. Because we didn't like how World Rugby did their awards, we will be doing our own awards next week.
We didn't feel that their awards were woke enough.
No. So we're going to give you the Woke Rugby Treehouse Awards.
Woohoo!
Yeah. So because of that, we would like to ask you, the Yap City residents, your favourite social media moment of the tournament. And how can they do that, Julia?
So there are lots of ways that you can let us know. First of all, obviously, like we have said many times, we absolutely read the comments. We reply when we can. Absolutely leave it in the comments. Find us on social media. You know how to do that. And when we say social media moment, it can be like various different things. Because remember, more than just great tries. And if it was something, I'm trying to think of a rugby moment that went kind of viral. If it was like seeing Erica Gerald Searcy's insane tries and how it kind of blew up in America. Okay. That would flatter me because I don't think we have any American listeners, but I hope we do. It could be that. It can also be anything Scotland did because they're very funny and they do a ton of stuff. It could be any sort of thing that you saw on social media, whether it blew up, that tickled your fancy. Go on, Hattie.
It could be a social media fail from World Rugby. There were a few.
It could be a social media
I was
fail
literally thinking
that
about
perhaps we laughed about.
It could be a produced moment, such as golden retrievers visiting. It could be an individual player. I don't mind. Let us know.
I don't mind. Let us know. And then the other thing, and I don't mean to spring this on the other two, but I'm doing it anyway because it's 1/3 my podcast. If you have any ideas for other fun categories that there might be, obviously, like, we're probably gonna address just like our takes on the actual rugby stuff. We're gonna have a few categories of actual rugby stuff, but if you think of anything fun, especially that might apply across a lot of the teams, yeah, exactly, we would love to hear about it, especially because, like, we're making it up anyway and we're just three of many talking bodies in Sophie to Go-To shirts.
Squid Rugby is one of them.
Squid Rugby is one of them. If you really enjoyed seeing Hattie's shirt on For the Love of Rugby, that's going to be Hattie's botted response. That can absolutely be it. Yeah, we want to have fun with it. We are hoping, well, first of all, I've decided I'm going to be drinking. So we're going to be doing that, and probably everybody else. We're hoping, or possibly, and sorry for teasing this, even though I haven't really checked it with everybody except one of them, but we might have guests that you've seen before. Oh no, we've checked with both of them. They said they were in. We'll probably have guests you've seen before. Probably not any surprise ones. I would love to say that there'd be surprise ones, but probably not.
Imagine if we just pull out Sophie to Go-To.
What if Sophie to Go-To
accepts an award in person?
Maybe John Mitchell will come on.
Well, so maybe John Mitchell will come on, but here's the thing: is we do have a verbal commitment from Eleanor Snowsill because she was apologizing to Sean for almost. She was apologizing to Sean for almost hitting her with her car. Who was it that almost hit you with their car?
Kira Bevan.
Oh, KB said she'd come on for almost hitting you with her car. No, we're making this up. Rich, if you're listening, and I know you're not because Wales isn't in this episode, but you need to let us know if KB will come on.
My days.
There have been so many Welsh players, because Sean runs in Cardiff so much, who have almost hit Sean with their car, or that Sean has run into buying coffee.
Yeah.
And
also because of your job as well.
And also because of your job at literally BBC Wales.
I literally walk past Sean Lynn
every day.
Yesterday or whenever it was.
And yet you haven't asked him on the pod.
I know.
You haven't asked him where he got his dry robe from.
Where he got his dry robe from, and then he's like, I will lose my job almost immediately.
It was outside the WIU shop where I saw him yesterday. So I think he was going in the shop to get more dry robes.
That's what you do. And so that's how we know, by the way, that he is looking at recruiting some of the Celtic Challenge girls, because they don't yet have their dry robes. If you ever thought that we wouldn't at least sprinkle in a little bit of Celtic conspiracy in these episodes, I don't believe you. So, Hattie, do you have anything to wrap it up before my housekeeping announcements?
I have something that I wanted to run past you. Maybe this will come a segment. I don't know. So Julia will know vaguely about this. Sian doesn't. But yesterday in a Discord that me and Julia are in, there was discussions about dogs and rugby. And so I thought I would bring you, because I like to come up with fantasy 15s teams.
Yes.
I will bring
we
you.
might do that as well.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably do that on the wrap up.
Yeah. I will bring you my dog 15. Are you ready?
Is it all dogs of players?
So it's dogs in positions, like dog breeds.
Oh, breeds.
Oh my God.
Okay. Absolutely. We're going to do that. We knew we couldn't tell Sean because she'd get too excited. So
I would. I am very excited.
Right. Sean is very excited to do this. It might be the one thing that she does first, like right when we get off this call. That is such a good idea, Hattie. That fits this pod so well.
Yeah. Should I run through it?
Oh wait,
Please.
already?
I've got it. No, I've got it.
Wait, what if I don't agree?
Well, that's the point.
Oh, I have to come back with mine then.
Right.
All right. Well, it's our podcast, and we're going along today. We're gonna discuss who you.
I thought this could be a thing. Like, I will randomly come up with a category and then create a list from it.
Yes,
like
fine.
reality TV show 15.
I understand.
Oh my God.
Do Sean and I ever get to make lists, or is it all a Hattie list?
I don't know. Maybe.
Hattie,
Anyway.
fuck off.
Should
Hattie
I
said
start?
I came up with it. Yes, please.
Okay.
Keep propping.
Loose head prop. I've gone with a Bernese Mountain Dog. Yep. At hooker, I've gone with a golden retriever. As somebody who used to own a golden retriever, they are.
I know, because you knew I was going to argue.
They are dumb, but they're lovable, and I think.
But okay, wait. So are these dogs playing men's rugby or women's rugby? Because the front row is always very smart in women's rugby. It's men's rugby.
I hadn't thought about this.
Everybody in women's, like, they're all doctors and lawyers in women's.
You've got a point.
Yeah, but there are some golden retrievers who are very smart and some of them who are very dumb, and there's no in between.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as a career too, I have nothing. That's absolutely true.
Tight head prop, Newfoundland.
You laugh now, Sean. Wait till she gets to 9 and 10. Sorry, what was it?
Newfoundland.
Oh yeah, I mean
that's a good choice.
Yeah,
it is a good choice. I just worry that we might need him again later. But anyway, go on.
My locks are an Irish Wolfhound and a Great Dane.
Yes.
Yeah, both of those are true.
Be.
Yeah,
has to be. Yeah.
Absolutely.
100%.
6. I've gone with a boxer.
Yes.
Yeah,
that works.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
And then 7, I've gone with a Labrador. I say this as a Labrador owner. They are intelligent. They are scrappy.
I agree with this. Yep.
And they're quite quick.
So as somebody who hasn't had either, I mean, I've met a lot of them. My neighbor only had Goldens when I was growing up. What are the primary differences between like a golden retriever and a lab?
Labs are more.
Retrievers have longer hair.
So golden retrievers have longer hair. Golden retrievers are a lot friendlier. Labradors tend to be a little bit more snappier. Labradors are more food driven, whereas golden retrievers are more like toy driven.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And Labradors are more athletic.
Okay. Yeah. Then yes, all of that fits. I'm worried that something weird is happening, or number 8 is going to be possibly right.
Number 8 is a Rottweiler.
See, she just said "fuck my guys" in total. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Rottweiler absolutely works. I was thinking of another great breed, but whatever.
9, I've gone with a Cocker Spaniel.
I was thinking, okay, so I understand, but it's got to be Jack Russell.
No, they'd get carded instantly. And also, I don't like small dogs.
Okay, but what about corgis? If you say you don't like them, you're anti-Welsh.
No, they're too slow. They're too slow for a rugby team.
I would have put corgi in at hooker.
That I also would have.
Yeah.
Yes.
10.
You're making a lot.
10. I've gone border collie.
Yes, wow, I can see where you're going. I can see where you're going with that.
Of our guys at all.
Yeah.
Go on.
11. I've gone greyhound because yes, they are very quick, but they also like being alone.
Yeah.
And they're just a bit weird.
Greyhound or whippet. I was thinking whippet, but yeah, greyhound as well. Oh, okay. We have a 14. You're right. We have a 14.
12. This is where it gets.
One of these better fucking be right.
I've said a Staffy.
Thank you.
/ a small pit bull, but I'm thinking in like a crash ball center way.
You're absolutely right. I want to asterisk this again in case we do have any American listeners. I joked earlier. I'm so sorry. I do know we have American listeners, and I want to specify to them because I didn't know this until I started being your guys' friend. The image of a pit bull in the UK is different than the actual pit bulls we have here. Our pit bulls here are usually like 45 to 50 pounds.
We don't really have pit bulls in here.
No,
in the UK.
banned.
They're banned effectively.
Well,
we have
they're banned.
We have bull breeds.
That's fine, but like I don't need to right now because this is very stupid. But if I were to pull up both Hugo and Elvis's DNA, they have a lot of Staffy / American pit bull. Yeah. Well, because they're almost the same. No, because they're almost the same.
Yeah, totally.
This is kind of why it doesn't really make much sense.
It doesn't. No. But what I was going to say is my understanding of a pit bull is perfect for 12. So yes, I really would have put the pitties at 8. I'm sorry, but 12.
I know where you're going because they're so muscular.
Yeah.
The Staffies are ripped.
I was thinking, do you know what? When I was thinking Staffy / pit bulls, but like not in the British way we look at pit bulls, but like in the American. Yeah. I was thinking Bundyaki.
Yeah. So that was what I was thinking too, honestly, was I was thinking kind of more men's centers. Or honestly, a Lev. Absolutely an American pit
Yes.
bull.
Yeah.
Compact and muscular.
13, this is where I show my retriever bias, and Julia might not get this because she's not a retriever person.
I appreciate it.
Is a flat-coated retriever.
Aren't they the ones that are like the most sporty? Like they're the ones who like to do the dog games?
Insanely intelligent.
Yeah, they're the ones. That's what I was saying, is that I do know a little bit about the differences here, and I know that flat coat are the ones that like to like play fly ball and stuff, right?
A little bit. They're quite rare. They're just they're very intelligent.
Right.
You don't see them a lot.
Like, you have to keep them entertained or they will destroy your house.
Do you guys have Chesapeake Bay retrievers at all over there?
Not really.
Okay, but you know of them.
Yeah, but because I'm a weird retriever lady. Right. Yeah,
that's what I meant though. Is I was wondering.
I'm a weird staffy lady. It's fine.
I'm a weird staffy lady as well.
Yeah. 14, we've gone Whippet.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah. And then 15, I have gone for, and I literally had to look up what this breed of dog was called because in my head I was like, I can think of exactly what it is, but I couldn't remember exactly what it was called. But it's an Australian cattle dog, like the
absolutely.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
So absolutely,
because they're a herding dog and they're very quick.
The thing is, they have insane energy. It would be very hard to keep them still. And the thing is, you do have to kind of be patient as a 15. That's the only issue that I could see.
Bluey teaches patience.
I can't argue with that.
No, you can't, even though it's cartoon.
Isn't he a cop?
His dad's a cop, I think, or her dad's a cop. I think it's a girl, and people are like, "It's woke. She's blue, and she's a girl." It's a fucking talking dog.
Yeah, I think the problem that they had with the woes.
That's quite good though.
For all 2 of our Australian listeners.
It's quite good. I was watching it the other night. I couldn't sleep, and I was like, I watched Bluey on iPlayer. Quite good.
So I tried to put it on for Molly because apparently dogs
love it. Yeah,
apparently dogs can see the colours. I can tell you, Molly much prefers Real Housewives.
I thought you were going to say maps.
No, Real Housewives.
What I really love is one of my 2 pit bulls loves rugby. He likes it for very specific reasons. It's Hugo, and it's because of all of his horrible. He's a special boy. He's older. I think he got chomped in the head as a baby, and he was definitely weaned way too early. He's not emotionally stable, and what he really likes about rugby is that it's always all the same volume. There's never any surprises. There's never any surprise loud noises. And also he always knows what to expect. And if there's rugby on, it means I'm not getting off the couch for 2 hours. He loves all of those things. Elvis likes bossa nova.
That's the dream. That's the dream for a dog.
Elvis, my younger pit bull, is very just calmed by bossa nova. He likes it when I put on a long bossa nova mix, he goes straight to sleep. And so when I'm figuring out what to put on for when I'm leaving long term, it's either one of those. And I think, honestly, that really paints a good picture of me as a person.
I've never met your dogs. Obviously, I've never met your dog.
I know,
Happy,
but
and I've never met your staff, your pitties. But I would die for the 3 of them. I would actually.
I know, spiritually.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about. And we're just throwing out all these names. Like, I don't know any of these dogs. Spud and Chompy are her nieces, are Sean's nieces.
And my favorite nieces.
Perfect little potatoes.
They were the dogs I was thinking of when it came to 12.
When you were talking about 12, I was immediately thinking of mostly Chompy, but also Spud.
Yeah. Molly's definitely a retired open side flanker. She's an arsehole.
For sure. Yeah. She also had a gonked gourd. So when I think about my boys, which obviously, since I've had them so long, one of the first things that you think about when you have my kind of mental illness is what positions my dogs would play. Now, Elvis is really tall for a pit bull, so he would be a second row because he'd be a boon to being able to like have all the pity stuff, but also he's very long. We thought something was not pit bull in him and we tested it. All is. It's crazy. Hugo asked if he could play at 6, and then they put him back in the firm because he can't keep weight off. He's a man who enjoys the streets.
They tend to.
They tend to. He's stubborn, and he just doesn't want to learn a lot of new stuff. He knows what he's good at. And I was like, that's
I feel he's a loose head prop as well.
Yeah.
That works.
What I was thinking. That was what I was thinking.
Yeah. Molly definitely was a 7, and now she's like a pundit, but she's not she actually can't be asked enough. So she's like that
I was going to
pundit
say
that comes on and does 5
she's a
minutes
pundit,
and
but
then
everybody
buggers off.
says she's lazy. They're like, she just regurgitates what they said.
She's so
fair.
old. She's remembering
She is
matches from
that's the
20
other
years
thing.
ago.
I forgot about how old she is. No, so she has to be. I was going to say
remember that too.
she does commentary like Sean, where she's just like, I saw this match in 1983.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's true.
and nobody listening was alive then.
Yeah,
that's
no,
Molly.
fair.
Yeah. What's
Molly.
seven
why I like her.
times 7 times 13? Old. 21.
91.
91.
91. 91.
It was like, what?
Do you know what? I was doing 3 times 7, got 21, and then forgot to add it to the 70.
Nailed it. Folks, if you have dogs or have opinions on dogs, and we know you do because we know what kind of people listen to this podcast, let us know what position your dog would play. We don't know your dogs, but we would like to. If you have a link for us to look at them on Instagram.
Imagine if we could put together a full 50
Dogs.
of our dogs and our listeners' dogs.
That's what I was thinking was
amazing.
Dogs of the Pod extended. Thistle will be in there because everybody came
Head coach?
originally from
Yeah.
Imagine how much rugby chat Thistle has heard. Thistle
Yeah.
is Hugh's Thistle is Hugh's cat, and he has probably seen and heard
He
more.
loves a
And by the
jersey.
way, we're throwing this in specifically because at this point Hugh has listened to 2 hours of us talking, and he gets really excited when we mention him. Hugh's
And
cat,
we've mentioned
who
him
we like
twice.
and
We
we
have.
mentioned him twice. And more importantly,
Aw.
we mentioned Thistle.
Yeah.
We love you. We love
Yeah.
Thistle.
And we saw earlier, my little cat is running around. She's a rookie. She hasn't settled on a position yet.
Is she doing waters? Because if the cats are just coaching positions, is she?
Yeah.
That's true, actually. She should just do water because she's she's a little runner. Yeah. She does water.
Is she
does
doing
water
the tea?
That's a great. Well, what I was gonna say is she's the one that the coaches send all the messages out with.
Yeah, the little notes.
Hey, come here. Hey, come here.
Yeah.
That's smudge for sure.
Seeing it's our last episode, before we do our awards.
I was gonna say our last serious episode.
Yeah. We have got Try of the Week.
It's quite hard, this.
Are we gonna do Try of the Week or do we? Oh no, we're doing tournament wide next episode. Okay, so just for this week,
So personally, I really liked all of the Blackburn tries. I thought they were all
that was what I was thinking.
worthy.
Blackburns. I was trying to decide.
Renee
one for the
Holmes's
Blackburns.
try was like a complete team. I think all of the players touched the ball.
That was the one I was thinking of.
Braxton's try. There was something really magical about the way that
It was Braxton magic. Yeah.
Yeah. You also have to say Ellie Kildunn's try was pretty shit hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
very
final.
much. That was my thing is that if I got it hurts so much, but I'm sorry, it was the Ellie try.
I also really liked
think it
the
was.
first Asian Hogan Rochester try, and I loved their
keep calling her
celebration.
Asian Hogan Rochester, and it's very funny to me.
I'm very sorry, it's just an accent. I can't.
I know it makes me very. I'm like, you can't be doing that. Oh no, she's English.
But no, seriously though, imagine
Did
scoring.
you just call me English?
Oh my god, technically you are. The accent is English. You are Welsh.
You're on thin ice.
I'm on.
I think-
nice.
I think Hattie just cancelled you.
This is the second time you've called me English on the pod.
What else am I supposed to? Okay,
Look,
I
if
said that you have
Americans
a
can be
Welsh-
Italian, I can be Welsh.
I know, right? Or when I travel,
Irish
if I
or Irish.
When I travel, I tell everybody I'm Canadian because nobody knows the difference between our accents. So
That's
I
valid.
do. I notice, but anyway.
I
sorry.
know.
You've just got to say Canada weirdly, and then everyone will believe you.
The only reason that I say it is because if you
Yeah.
listen to Sean talk and if you listen to Hattie talk, they definitely sound different because one is in Cardiff.
Yeah.
I only say it so that I don't get canceled by my own linguistic community.
Right, so
Great
Try of the
British.
Week is Ellie Kildunnn. Moving
It's
on.
Ellie Kildunnn. Congratulations. I made Hattie mad. It doesn't take away from you. Obviously, you had a
Game
good
of
time.
the Week.
I mean,
There's only 2.
there's only 2.
I mean,
I think
in
it's probably
terms of
gonna Oh yeah, of entertainment.
if
Yeah.
it depends on
Yeah,
how you
good
look at
first
it. Actually, if you're looking at actual rugby with the tries being scored, entertaining tries, it's the first game. It's the bronze medal.
It was the first one. Only because of the stuff that we covered extensively. Honestly, it was just I would love to say that it was the final, but Canada said it themselves, like they just didn't bring the same Canada that you had seen. So no.
And then we've got Player of the Week.
This is hard.
This one is hard. I would have to say Ellie.
I'm saying Gabrielle Vernier because I met her after the match and she was very nice.
Absolutely. I would love to say Vernier. I really wish that it didn't go the way that it did for her because she's so lovely. Who else did you meet?
Pauline Bodon-Sansu.
That photo is amazing.
The photo is amazing.
Can I tell the story?
That's what I was going to say.
Yes.
Does it? Can you though?
Oh,
should we?
I don't know.
No, actually, maybe
we?
no. No,
Look,
actually, no.
Okay, if you had just, I feel like because of the reaction that we got from our group of ball knowers in the Discord that we were talking about, because of the reaction that we got, I think we're allowed because the response when I told the story,
it's the best thing I've ever heard. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's the best thing I've ever heard. But then everybody else, including 2 French people, said, no, she's just French. It's not funny. She's just French. And I was like, I did not know that this was so common.
So
It didn't
basically,
massively surprise me. It didn't massively surprise me. Go on.
Okay, it
Go
did.
on.
Okay, so the thing is, answered a lot of questions about her. Whatever. I feel like we can tell it if we get if the producers agree that like we shouldn't tell a story, they'll just cut it out. Tell us a story.
I went outside.
How did you even find her?
So I literally was walking outside the stadium and I walked past this ginger woman and I was like, that's Pauline Bodon-Sansu.
Okay. I thought you were like, I like that blazer. And I was like, yeah.
No, and then I like looked again and I was like, that's Laure Bodon-Sansu. And then I like looked down and I was like, they're both smoking.
To which, when we told our friends, they were like, oh, because I was like, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Because everybody here who knows rugby long time, like that's the old joke, right? That like the props would be out having a cigarette at halftime. And like that is an old rugby joke or whatever. Yeah. And then I was like, that's very funny. And then a French friend of ours was like, why is that funny? She's a very literal person. She was like, why is that funny? And I was like, because like she played in a World Cup. What do you mean? And she was like, no, that's just French. She's like, everybody does that.
It didn't really surprise me. I think it's more unusual to smoke.
She played in a World Cup. I'm trying to think of like running up on Captain Kate. Just like
it was objectively very funny. And then I was like trying to have a conversation with her.
Was she mad when you were like, can I have a picture?
She did not understand what I was saying until I picked up my phone and like did it, and she was like, "Oh, okay." And then she like hid her hand, and then Laure Sansu ran away.
I would.
And then
ran away. Oh no!
She was like, "I'm not getting involved." And then and then I like walked around the corner. Well, not walked around the corner. I walked around the group of people. Gabrielle Vernier, and I was like, can I have a photo? I'm a really big fan. And then we had like a very small conversation, and then her friends wanted to talk to her, and I was like, fair enough, you've just played a bronze medal match and lost, so I'll let you get back to what you were doing. And I looked crazy.
You looked completely crazy.
You looked happy.
Yeah, you looked really happy.
A bit like how I was crazy when I met all the Welsh players because I was just so excited.
Exactly.
And I had just seen Pauline Bodon-Sansu smoking a cigarette, and that was objectively very funny.
Which you were already processing that. And
also, for reference, I was in full cow print.
Full cow print.
With 2 scarves
Under the cow print was this shirt.
Yep.
And then was your hair down? Did you have crazy hair? I don't remember.
And I had a bow in.
And a bow in.
And a leopard print bag with a labubu on it.
On it.
And I said 2 scarves.
Yeah.
Because I just bought
the normal number of scarves.
Yeah. So, and I was holding 4 programs.
This, by the way, this story is kind of like the gift that you get for having sat through this whole episode.
Yeah.
If you made it here, you got an insane story.
Do you think anyone has actually made it this far?
David.
I don't know. So David, friend of the pod, David. No, I think if we were starting to lose people, probably Dog 15 got them back in. Yeah, I think that everybody would want it, if for no other reason, but just what the fuck is she talking about? And then
and especially if Hugh has already put the timestamps in, and then he just puts Pauline Bodon-Sansu scandal.
So it's one chapter is Dog XV. Second one
No,
is
no, no.
Polly
Shoot, you're not allowed to put Dog XV because that would spoil it. You've got to put Hattie's Fantasy
yeah.
X. Yeah.
I thought you were going to
Regularly
leave it at just Hattie's
alternative
Fantasy.
fantasy.
Hattie Fantasy is also getting to watch rugby played by 15 dogs. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, surely it'd be 30.
Yeah. I mean, they could be practicing. Yeah, absolutely.
Training session. Yeah.
Do you have any more
who would be the captain?
I
think it'd be the Noof.
Oh no, it's got to be one of the really smart ones. So
it's got to be a smart one.
Finlands are smart.
Are they?
Yeah.
I did not know that. I was thinking the Aussie cattle dog because
or
they can
border
collie.
The border collie, yeah,
they can
yeah.
read.
But they
yeah,
like
the
herd
border
people.
collie. Because
dogs.
well, my other thought was you have to think about in-team dynamics, and like either of those, if either of them weren't considered, they wouldn't shut up about it. They would talk about how they could do it better. They'd say their Bronco time is better. It would be a whole thing. And that is why I think that front rows don't get to be captains very often. Anyway.
Oh, I just pulled muscle in my neck.
Oh, good. That's exactly the right time to ask. Do you have any more surprises for us?
No, that was it.
Great. We're going to have more surprises.
You're getting old when
week.
things like that happen.
We are getting old. We have gone. I was thinking this is going to be really short, and then it ended up being one of the longest ones. But really, I feel full of content. So with that, to wrap up, in my notes, I said Julia has some crap about taking a break to recover. So what we're doing now, as we said, our next episode will be our fun kind of, we're calling it Yappy Hour. Citizens of Yap City. We are going to have a Yappy Hour. We're going to hang out with some friends. We're going to have some opinions. We're going to hand out some awards that have I don't know. Hattie likes to make stuff, so maybe she'll make a certificate. Probably not, because we can't reach these people. So we're going to be doing that. And then after that, because everybody has gone stark raving mad over this World Cup, we are going to take a little break. All of the content is all of the rugby stuff is kind of going to be drawn down for a little bit. We are aware that there are also some club stuff going on, including the PWR Cup. We're not going to be covering that. We're sorry. We value them. We know that it's important rugby, but we're tired.
And the PWR doesn't think it's important because they're not showing it.
And the PWR doesn't think we can't see it. And Hattie doesn't drive, so she's very sick of the trains. She cannot go to PWR matches right now. She needs a break. When we come back, we are planning on doing all of this as much as we can. We won't be going away. We want to cover as much as we possibly can. What we know we're going to be covering in no particular order. I'm just remembering the competitions as I go. We're definitely going to be covering PWR as much as we can. Definitely WER. WXV, when it comes back, we will definitely be covering. I'm doing all of this out of order. Celtic Challenge might be the first one back.
PWR will be the first one back.
PWR is first.
Yeah. And then yes. PWR will be it. We might not head back immediately when all of the senior internationals are back, but also they'll be integrated slowly. So we'll see what we can do, but there will definitely be stuff coming. As always, we want to thank you for sticking with us. We've really enjoyed covering this World Cup. It has been an experiment for all three of us, and we feel like it was kind of a success. And in a large part due to the community that we all have built. So we thank you for that. Good comments, bad comments, all of them. Leave them in the comment section. Tell us what your favorite thing that I ended an episode with was in the comments. As I said, also please give us good ideas for what we could do for kind of fun versions of the awards next week. Other than that, again, nailing it as always. We're thanking you one more time. Please reach out to us on all the ways that you normally can. And until next time, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for listening to the Women's Rugby Treehouse. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us wherever you see us on social. Join us again for more of the same next week. And until then, enjoy your rugby.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Lowe's knows how to get you ready for holiday hosting with up to 35% off select home decor. And get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, members get free delivery, haul-away, basic installation, parts, and a 2-year Lowe's protection plan when you spend $2,500 or more on select LG major appliances. Valid through 10/1. Member offer excludes Massachusetts, Maryland, Wisconsin, New Jersey, and Florida. Installed by independent contractors. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for more details.